Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ruthie Q with the Entrepreneur's Corner. Happy Wednesday. I wanted to share the quote of the day with you all, and that quote is, "Action is the foundational key to all success." And that quote is by Pablo Picasso. I wanted to just break that down just a little bit. Now, I want you all to just understand that you have to put the action behind everything that you do. When you're writing down your goals, when you're writing down the things that you want to accomplish, be very mindful that is the action that you put behind it. Now, you can write down your goals, but if you don't put the action behind it, you can write down the things that you want to do to get to those goals. But if you don't put the action behind it, then you can't accomplish them. You have to put the action. That is your foundation. That is the foundational key to all success, your action. So I wanted to just continue on from Monday's podcast. On Monday, I gave you all thought-provoking questions. So I started with the first 5. We're going to do 10 thought-provoking questions that you should be asking yourself every single day. So I gave you the first 5 on Monday. I'm just going to go ahead and recap those, and then we'll get into the second half. So the first 5 were, number 1 was, what is it that you're grateful for? So I want you to think about what you're grateful for. Number 2 is, what efforts can you make to ensure your well-being today? Number 3, what are the significant things that you should prioritize today? What are those things that you have to make a priority in order to reach those goals that you've already set for yourself? Number 4, are your plans, the things that you are doing today, are they in alignment with your values and beliefs? Number 5, what's that one little thing? Not those things that you need to prioritize, but what's that one little thing that you need to do to get closer to your goal today? What is that one little thing? So we're going to continue on. We're going to go into the last 5 thought-provoking questions that you should be asking yourself. Number 6 is, how do you make today the best day of your life? We oftentimes talk about what we would do if we knew exactly how much time we had left and we would live every single day to the fullest. But how do you make today the best day of your life? What can you do for yourself? How can you push closer to your goals to make it the best day of your life? Number 7 is, what can you do to be a better person than you were yesterday? Now, I always talk about you showing up, the best you showing up. What can you do today to be a better person than yesterday? What can you learn from yesterday that will help you to be a better person today? For all of us out there that are competitive individuals, I want you to think about that. What can you do? How can you compete with what you did yesterday and one up yourself? What can you do to be a better person today than you were yesterday? Number 8 is, how can you motivate yourself? How can you motivate yourself? What does that take? What does that look like to you, motivating yourself? Some people say, oh, I need somebody to motivate me, or I can't do the self-motivation thing. What can you do? I want you to sit down and think about these. These are thought-provoking questions. What can you do to motivate yourself? What can you do to motivate yourself? Number 9 is, what can you do to make a positive difference in someone else's life? What can you do to make a positive difference in someone else's life? I was sitting here this morning thinking about that before the podcast and before I even thought about asking this question. I was thinking about, what can I do to enrich someone else's life? What can I do? How can I make myself more available so that it enriches someone else's life, so that it makes a positive difference? And not just through the podcast, but what can I physically do to make a positive difference in someone else's life? And number 10, I want you to think about those goals. I want you to think about your expectations. But that number 10 question is, where can I expect to see myself in 5 years? Now, I know sometimes people say, well, what's your 5-year goal? Or where are you going to be in 5 years? But I want you to start thinking about your expectations, not just what your goal is, but what are your expectations of that? I want you to have clarity of thought. I want you to have your vision set out, and not just the goal. I can say what my goal is for 5 years, but what is my expectation of that goal? What does it look like exactly? So if I say I want to be gracing the stage within the next 5 years, what is that expectation of that? How many people are in the audience? How many people am I impacting? How many books have I written? You have to break down what the expectation of that goal is. So I want to just quickly recap. Number 6 was, how do I make today the best day of my life? Number 7 is, what can I do to be a better person today than I was yesterday? Number 8 is, how can I motivate myself? Number 9 is, what can I do to make a positive difference in someone else's life? And number 10 is, where can I expect to see myself in 5 years? That is what I have for you all today. I hope that you join me tomorrow for the morning motivation. I hope that you have an absolute wonderful day. Always remember that if you are an entrepreneur and you do have a question that you need answered, please email me. My email address is TECunlimited@outlook.com, which is the Entrepreneur's Corner Unlimited at outlook.com, which again is TECunlimited@outlook.com. Also, if you know of any superstar entrepreneurs that you feel should be highlighted, should be interviewed, please forward their information as well, or have them contact me so that I can get them in for an interview so that they can enrich my life, your life, everyone's life who listens to the podcast. Remember, guys, that success is only measured by how far the mind can expand. Once again, this has been Ruthie Q with the Entrepreneur's Corner. Take care, guys, and have a fantastic day.